Hey, this is Dave with Taboo Customs. This video today, we're going to be talking about another TJ, pretty common issue with those TJs, and that is the side mirrors on 97 to 02 TJs, and how that eventually they like to come loose down here at the stem to the mirror, and after a while you'll find that your mirror might be pointing at the ground. So today we'll cover 3 ways to fix this, including a new product from Taboo Customs that can be used to fix this issue. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing that you can try to do with these mirrors, and this here is actually an aftermarket mirror, on the other side we have an OEM mirror. We'll take a look a little bit at both of those. On the bottom of both OEM and typically aftermarket mirrors, there will be screws down here, one on each side. The first thing you can do is try to tighten those screws to see if you can tighten up that joint at the base of the mirror. Now on our mirror here, we've actually tried to do that and it has pretty much done nothing. So we know that that joint there is pretty well shot. So on the next thing that you can do is you can obviously, well, replace your mirrors. That's pretty easy. However, with that comes a couple of things you want to consider when you are going and replacing your mirrors. One, obviously they are going to cost a little bit more than the third option that we're going to talk about. Two, there's a lot of times when we will take these off. This little bracket right here is an aluminum, and I'll show you the other side in a second. But there happens to be a lot of galvanic corrosion and corrosion with this aluminum. So every now and then, whenever we are replacing mirrors, we'll see these bolts here actually break off, and then you have to go through the process of trying to extract that stud out of the door without damaging the paint in that area. Can be a little bit difficult. It is something that we do and have seen more than a couple of times. So like I said, this one here, not a ton of corrosion, but let's take a look at the other side, which still has an OEM mirror, and you'll see how much corrosion we're looking at over there. All right, so here is the OEM mirror on the other side. You can see how much more corrosion this has on it. You know, we'll probably replace this set of mirrors in the future, but right now we're just trying to get ourselves by. So let's talk about the third option that we have, which is a new product from Taboo Customs. All right, one last thing before we move on to the third option. If you are going to replace your mirrors, one thing we would recommend is we recommend using mirrors from an 03 to 06 TJ or that style of mirror. The 03 to 06 TJs for OEM style mirrors actually had a fixed housing. They didn't have this same joint here at the bottom. They had a mirror inside the housing that actually was what would adjust to change where you wanted your mirror. So it eliminates this issue to a degree. So check that out. We will go ahead and put a link in the description below if you are looking for those mirrors. The third option, we have a new product from Taboo Customs, and that is a mirror stability kit for your original TJ mirrors. So what this does is it adds 2 pieces that basically will wedge themselves and bolt in place underneath this mirror to lock it in place so that it no longer will have that movement like that. Of course, what you've got to do though is you need to get it adjusted in the right location, and because of that, this piece here, which includes 2 plastic wedges, has 2 wedges, one that is smaller than the other. So what you're going to want to do when you install this is sit in the Jeep, make sure that you check to see which wedge you want to go in there. Now for me, I'm about 6 foot, and so I use the larger wedge in the back. If you're shorter than that, you may want to look at using the smaller wedge, but of course it is going to be based somewhat off of your preference and how you sit in your Jeep. If it doesn't work for you, let us know. You can return them if it doesn't put the mirror at the right height, and just contact us through our website or through whatever medium that you bought these in. Now for installation is really easy. We will undo the 2 bolts, and both these button head bolts are stainless bolts, so they will not rust. The same thing with the 2 nylock nuts in the back. So the side that has the nuts in it is the larger one, so we will put that at the back. Make sure it's roughly centered on the stud. Put the front piece in, feed the bolts through the holes, get it pretty well squared up, and then go ahead and start the 2 bolts. Make sure you get both of them started before you tighten anything down. You do also want to make sure you hold those 2 nuts in the back. They can pretty easily slip out and go bouncing around. It could be a pain to find. Don't ask me how I know. So once you get it snugged in, pretty well tightened up, go back and forth. Don't tighten one all the way up and then move to the other. But with these, it won't take much to tighten them up. You should be able to pretty much tighten it to where the bolt is pretty well flush with the face of the nut. Once you hit there, you're pretty much coming to the point you're probably getting it tight enough. Now, before we went into the install, I should have mentioned that there is normally a boot on this stud. See, we've had these on this Jeep now for the last couple of months, so we removed that boot long ago. There's a boot around there that's pretty easy to remove. A flat screwdriver, a pair of diagonal cutters, pull it out a little bit, start snipping it with those diagonal cutters, comes right off really easily. So once you have this kit installed, you should have some ability to turn this in and out. If you do find that when you're driving the Jeep, you do need to adjust it in and out a little bit. But again, if you need to change the angle front to back, you would have to take this and flip it around to use either the larger or the smaller wedge. Now, if you're looking for this kit, you can find this kit, a link in the description of this video. You can also find it on our website, taboocustoms.com, or we'll have them on eBay and Amazon as well. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, concerns, or if you have this kit and had an issue, please contact us on our website. We can discuss it and figure out where to go. So thank you. And as always, the like and subscribe is greatly appreciated.